Hey there, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Katie and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living. And today we are going to be doing some more bread. I have been in the bread baking mode. I love bread. It's my weakness. I prefer it over sweets. And today we're going to try something new. Hopefully this recipe turns out. We're going to be trying it new with you guys. And today we're going to be doing an Outback bread copycat. So this is all new to me. And I'm excited because we love Outback bread. And we used to have a grocery store here that actually sold it in store. And we would buy it. It had 6 loaves in the pack. And every once in a while I'd buy that. But they haven't had it in years. So this is exciting to be able to make this if it turns out super yummy like I'm hoping it will. So let's go ahead and get started in making this bread. All right, in the bowl of my stand mixture, I have 1 tablespoon of sugar. And to this, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of yeast. And then 1.5 cups of warm water. And we're gonna let this sit and activate until it becomes foamy and bubbly. If you've missed it, I've actually done a couple of other bread recipes recently. I did the viral butter croissant bread, and I did that as a Dutch oven bread, and I also did a yummy roasted garlic rosemary focaccia bread. So if you want to check those videos out, I can link those. But we're gonna let this sit and get foamy, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I will link this recipe in the description box from where I got it, but I'm just following this recipe here. And so our mixture looks nice and foamy, so we're gonna move on to our next step. It says we're gonna whisk in honey, brown sugar, egg, and molasses. So I need a 1/4 cup of honey. Well, let me throw my 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Oops. Throw our 1/4 cup of honey in here. All right, we need 1.5 tablespoons of molasses. This is part of why that Outback bread has that dark color, but we're going to add something else that's pretty surprising in a second that will also give us that dark color. All right, honey, brown sugar, egg. Where'd my egg go? There it is. There's our egg. We'll whisk all this together. And then we're going to put in the rest of our dry ingredients. Which is, this is the other surprising ingredient. It says 2 tablespoons of Hershey's dark cocoa, but I happen to have this black cocoa that I bought to make homemade Oreos. So this is what I'm going to use. So 2 tablespoons of some kind of dark cocoa. So this may be a little darker than typical, but this is what I have. Now it does separate all-purpose flour and bread flour, but I only have all-purpose flour, so I'm going to use all-purpose flour. So we're going to need a total of 4 cups of flour. I'm going to kind of loosen up my flour before I measure it. All right, that's our 4 cups. And then we need 1 teaspoon of salt. We're going to put this on our mixer and we're going to knead it on low speed for about 10 minutes. All right, I'm gonna get this going. We'll let this go for about 10 minutes and then we'll be back to shape our bread. All right, so our dough has been kneading for about 10 minutes here. It's nice and smooth. And what we're gonna do, I have cleaned my counter really good. I'll get this out on my counter. And let's form this into a ball. Maybe I'm gonna get a little bit of flour to dust my counter. I found this cute little sifter. It kind of opens up spring-loaded. You can scoop some flour and then it's got little holes here so you can kind of sift so you're not putting too much flour down when you're doing bread. Just enough to get some on the counter. All right, so it says what we're gonna do is we're gonna divide this into 2 pieces. And then we're going to take that and we're going to cut each part into 6 equal parts. Seems like a lot, huh? Is this really 12 loaves is what this is going to give us? Yeah, well, it says 12 servings. Are we supposed to eat a whole loaf ourselves? Maybe we'll cut it into 4 parts. And maybe I'm gonna make a mistake doing this, but all right. And then we're going to 6 to 7 inch long narrow rolls, it says. Is that about 6 inches? And then it says we're going to dredge each roll into cornmeal and transfer to a pan. So let me grab a dish to put my cornmeal in. And I'm just going to do the bottom. I don't remember it having cornmeal over the whole roll, so I'm just going to do the bottom. All right. The texture is kind of almost like Play-Doh. It's different than I'm used to bread texture. All right, so now we have all of our loaves or rolls done, and it says we're gonna cover it and let it proof about 45 minutes to an hour, and then we're gonna preheat our oven to 380 degrees. So I'm gonna get these covered up. We'll let these sit for about an hour, and then it says doubled in size. And we'll get these baking in the oven. All right, so I think our bread is mostly doubled here. Some of these are more than doubled, some of them not quite doubled. So we're gonna get these in the oven on 380 degrees for about 15 minutes, and then we'll be back to taste test this. I wanna do it while it's warm and buttery and yummy, but you should always let your bread cool before you cut it. But I don't know if I can wait. So we're gonna try these and get these in the oven. All right, we'll be back. I'm so excited. Okay, y'all, look at this yummy bread. Are we ready to try it? I know we're supposed to wait, but I just can't. We'll just have to have some now. Make the butter all melty inside. Oh, yummy. Let's get a bite. All right. Let's see which one we want to cut into. I temped these whenever the 15 minutes was up, and they were perfectly 195 degrees. Oh, it's so soft, y'all. Look at the inside of that. It's so soft. Let's get some butter on here. It smells just like Outback bread. It's not one to spread, it's so soft. That's plenty there. All right, we're gonna give this a try. This bread was so easy to make. The only thing that would be odd that you would not necessarily have is molasses, but everything else, I mean, you could use regular cocoa. It's just for the color. Everything else pretty much you have. So let's go ahead and give this a try. Definitely give this a try. If you can get your hand on some molasses, this is so good, y'all. Like I said, bread is my weakness. I'm not a big old dessert fan, but bread with butter, this is so good. And we happen to be making steak tonight, so this will be perfect with that. Well, I hope you give this recipe a try. If you haven't already subscribed, we're going to put the logo up right here. You can touch that and hit subscribe really easily. And I'll leave my bread playlist on this side in case you want to get some more yummy bread ideas. And we'll hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.